Welcome to this forest practice. Be sure that the body is comfortable, sitting cross-legged or kneeling. Take a deep breath into the chest, allow the belly to fill, and as you exhale, let the shoulders soften. The arms hang heavy. Allow the breaths to become longer. Bring your hands together, Namaste. If you wish to take half lotus, now is a good time to do that. Or if you prefer, you can sit kneeling. Otherwise, sitting easy cross-legged pose is perfect. Be sure that the spine can be long and that your upper back is not rounding. Let there be length in the back of the neck, sides of the neck, and still the arms hang heavy. Breathe in. When you reach the top of the in-breath, can you breathe in a little bit more before exhaling? Let the breath go. Remember, if you are uncomfortable, then please move your body, move your legs so that your hips can be comfortable. And get ready, we're going to come to lying down, knees bent, feet flat to the floor. Let the arms be heavy, backs of the hands to the floor. The soles of your hands are soft. And the back of the neck is long. Readjust the feet so the heels aren't so close to the butt that your butt is squeezing. Let the body go. Breathing into the belly, allow your belly and your chest to fill with breath. On the exhalation, can you let the back body soften? Can you let the back body go? Any tension in the hands, just squeeze the hands together, maybe draw the arms into the side of you as you exhale. Let the soles of your hands soften. Inner elbow creases soften, the shoulders roll outwards and the backs and the tops of your shoulders are heavy. The back of the neck is still long. Breathe here. Using your left hand now, draw the left knee in towards the chest and start to circle that knee out. As you inhale, draw the knee in towards the belly. Exhale, allow it to roll outwards. Be sure that the right knee is bent, right foot is flat to the floor. Breathe here as you move the leg in circles, and the leg is not moving with any effort of its own. It's the arm that is moving the knee around in circles. Allow your leg to relax and change legs, right hand to right knee. Taking circles once more, exhaling as the knee draws in towards the chest. Inhaling as it rolls away from you, filling the belly with as much breath as possible. The back of the neck is long. The shoulders are still heavy. And if you notice that you're rolling onto the outside edge of that left foot, then please press the big left toe down into the ground. Left knee pointing straight up to the ceiling as you're circling the right knee. Draw both knees in towards the chest. Allow the head to meet the knees. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring the head back down to the ground. Now interlace both fingers behind the left thigh, and you're going to draw that knee right into the chest. Start to straighten the right leg and pull yourself up to sitting. From here, we'll move on to all fours. Take your time. Hips directly above the knees, your shoulders directly above the hands, the fingers are spread wide. If you wish, you can tuck the toes under. This will give you an earlier stretch in the soles of the feet and the backs of the hamstrings. Rounding the spine, exhale. Inhaling into your cow stretch. Lifting, opening the shoulders, opening the chest. Just be sure that you're not arching the lower spine too much, particularly if you're very back bendy. Exhale once more, rounding. Cat stretch. We're going to open up more of the thoracic part of the spine, so as you inhale into your cow stretch, come up onto the tips of your fingers now, opening the chest, lifting the breastbone. Take a deep breath in. Tuck the toes under now, everybody. Round the spine. Exhale. One more time, inhaling. Tips of the fingers. Exhale. Tuck the toes under a little bit more. keeping the shoulders directly above your hands. And you're going to lift the knees off of the floor so that they're hovering as close to the ground but not touching as possible. Fingers spread wide. Keep breathing. As you inhale, you're looking forward. Exhale, keep the knees as close to the ground as possible. Reach back through those heels, tummies pulled in. And press back into downward facing dog. Knees can be bent, opening up the space in the armpits. Shoulder blades plugging to the back of the rib cage. Sitting bones reaching high. Fingers spread wide. Inhale, lengthen the upper body. Exhale, out breath flushes down the backs of the legs, and you may be pedaling the left knee and the right knee. As the left knee bends, right heel comes closer to the ground. As the right knee bends, the left heel comes closer to the ground. All the while lengthening your upper body, opening the angle at the armpits without flaring at the ribs. Perhaps come up onto the tips of the toes, lifting the heels. As you exhale, send the heels lower once more. Inhale to rise, hips rise, heels rise. Exhale, heels down. Keep the hips as high as you can, if you can. The fingers are still spread wide. Looking forward now, step the right and the left foot forward, coming all the way into your standing forward fold. Knees are bent. Exhale, let the head be heavy. Arms hang like a rag doll's. Head is heavy. Be sure that the neck is not doing any carrying work. Exhale, let the body go. If your hair's in the way, you can tie it up. One of the things I should have done sooner. Keep letting the spine hang long, and the head is like the weight of a pendulum, allowing the spine to lengthen further as your torso rests across the tops of the legs. Big toes pressing down to the ground. Now bring your hands to your hips, keep the knees bent, and bring the head in line with your hips. Neck stays long, chin is into the chest. Bend the knees a little bit more, big toes continue to press downwards, and inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Rest the body, come to the front of the mat. Collarbones stay open, shoulder blades softly squeezing together. Bring your hands to your heart center. From here we begin the standing practice, Shiva Namaskara. Let the body settle before you reach the arms up. With a soft bend in the knees, reach your arms up, Urdhva-Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Lift the head, looking up on the tips of your fingers, and step the left leg back. Knee comes to the ground. As you inhale, open the shoulders, collarbones wide, back of the neck stays long. Come up onto the tips of the fingers or resting on the thigh if you wish. Arms come either side of the ears, if possible, reaching the arms as high as you can as the left hip bone falls heavy. Exhale, hands framing the right foot, step the right leg back. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, elbows squeezing into the side body. Inhale, low cobra. There should be very little weight in the hands there. Exhale, bend the knees, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. The knees can be as bent as you wish. Focus on lengthening and opening the upper body space. Fingers spread wide. Now lifting the left foot off of the floor, bringing it back in between the hands, right knee down towards the ground. Find length, lift the chest, resting your hands on the left thigh. Or once again, if you wish, you can reach the arms long forward, interlacing the fingers, index fingers coming out. And reach those arms up overhead. Your arms should be either side of the ears. The head needn't fall back any more than that. Hands framing the front foot once more, step that right foot forward, back to your standing forward fold. As the breath goes, let the head be heavy. And if your legs are very tight, you can wrap the arms around the backs of the legs. Let the body go. Inhale, arms up, arms either side of the ears. You don't have to bend back too deeply, but keep the knees bent slightly to protect your spine. Hands to the heart center. Inhale, arms up, perhaps backwards. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips, legs straighten. Exhale, stepping the left leg back. Rest the hands on the right thigh once more, or interlace the fingers. Reach up, perhaps lean back. Lift your chest. Try to find height rather than just slinging the body backwards. Then bring the hands either side of the foot, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Soft bend in the knees so that you can lengthen your upper body even more. Can you fill both the chest and the belly with breath? Exhale. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin down to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or a low cobra. In upward facing dog, the only things on the floor should be the tops of the feet and your hands. Thighs should be lifted. Exhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana once more. Bring the right leg forward. Left knee to the floor, resting both hands on the right thigh. Or bring the arms up. If you wish, you can deepen the pose. Bring your arms down and take hold of the back foot. Bring it close towards the buttock, right arm reaching forward. Perhaps in Jnana Mudra. If you can, maybe even scoot the left foot into the elbow crease of the left arm. From here, perhaps bring the hands together. Lift the chest. Return from the pose, hands framing the right foot. Step the right leg back. Exhale, Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale. Make sure you're not locking out the elbows. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. The left leg now reaches forward. Right knee to the ground. Resting hands on the left thigh. Or bring the arms forward and upwards. Your choice. Inhale to find length in the front body and length in your spine. If your arms are up overhead, they actually should be in line with your ears. Lift the chest before you bend backwards. Return both hands to the floor and step the leg back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, sides of the neck along. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe here. The left leg comes forward, right knee to the floor. Let the hips sink. Inhale, arms up. If you wish to deepen the pose, lift the chest. Perhaps even wiggle the shoulders and wiggle your arms either side of the ears. If you still wish for more, bringing the arms back down and take hold of the right foot. Left arm reaches forward, hands in Jnana Mudra. Maybe the back of the foot will scoot into the crease of the right elbow. If you wish, bring the hands together. Imagine that the right hip is heavy. Keep lifting the chest. Return, hands either side of the left foot. And bring the right foot forward to meet the left. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Push the big toes downwards. Inhale, arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Reach high before you reach back. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And when the hands reach the heart, can you lift your heart to meet your hands? Surya Namaskar B. Start to bend the knees and reach the arms either in line with your shoulders or perhaps higher. Utkatasana chair posture. The tailbone should be pointing down towards the ground rather than arching behind you. Back of the neck is still long. Exhale, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Head rises, legs straighten, fingertips. Exhale, now bring the palms flat to the floor and jump back, both feet together. Exhale, Chaturanga. But before lowering the body, be sure that your heels are reaching directly behind you. Bend the elbows into the side body. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg rises. Scoot the left foot in between the hands. Right heel comes down to the ground, right toes out on the diagonal. Inhaling, coming up in one fell swoop into Warrior Two. Your shoulders should be directly above the hips and the fingertips are reaching far apart from each other. Left hand reaching forward, right hand reaching back. Bring your left elbow now to rest on the left knee, but try to find lift in the chest so you're not leaning all that weight on the leg. Right arm reaches up, perhaps over. And just to be sure you're not leaning all that weight in the left elbow, reach your left arm up too. Breathe here. Arms long, fingers reaching. Grounding into the outside edge, the back edge of that right foot. Come back into Warrior Two, and then wimble the arms back down, framing the left foot. Right knee down to the ground. You're going to bring the right arm upwards and take a twist, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, bringing the palms together. If you're comfortable to do so, tuck the back toes under and perhaps lift that right knee off of the ground. But more importantly than lifting that back knee, it's opening the chest space. Turn the head downwards and once more in one fell swoop, reach the arms back up and untwist into Warrior Two, left knee above the left ankle. Keep your arms in line with the shoulders, straighten the left leg and reach the left arm down towards the lower left leg. Triangle pose. Your right arm is reaching up as high as possible. Don't worry about getting the left fingertips to the floor. Think more about getting the right arm upwards. Back of the neck is long. Perhaps the head turns to look at the right hands. Exhale, turn the head downwards, come back up. Step the right foot forward. Feet meet at the front of the mat. Inhale, Urdhva Stasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Palms flat to the floor, fingers spread wide. Inhale, lifting fingertips, the legs straighten. Exhale, palms flat to the floor and step or jump back. Remember the heels reach backwards as you exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg, this time rather than lifting it as high as possible, keep the heel in line with your butt and reach that heel straight back behind you, lengthening the leg as much as you possibly can. You're flexing the foot rather than pointing the toes. Bend the right knee, right foot flat to the floor. Left heel comes down to the ground, left toes in a diagonal. Inhale, Warrior Two. Remember the shoulders should be stacked directly above the hips, so you're not leaning the body forward as if like a Superman pose. Come back. Hands in line with the shoulders. Your right knee is above the right ankle. Right elbow to right knee, reaching the left arm upwards and maybe over. Make sure that you're not putting all the weight through that right arm. Lift the right arm up. Find length from the tips of the fingers upwards into the outside edge of that left foot as it grounds into the floor. Breathe here, back to Warrior Two, and then bring your left knee down to the ground. We're going to reach the left arm up, lengthen the left side of the waist, and when you're ready, take your twist. Left elbow or perhaps left shoulder to the right knee, hands in prayer position. Roll that right shoulder upwards and open. There is no need necessarily to lift that back knee off of the floor. Think more about opening the upper chest space. In one fell swoop, come back up into Warrior Two, hands in line with the shoulders. Sink into that front knee. Come back up, straightening the front leg. Take your triangle pose. The right hand comes down, resting on the lower right leg as the left arm reaches up high. If you come all the way down to the ground, you're going to collapse and close in on that left shoulder. Instead, bring the right arm a little bit higher so that your left fingertips and arm can reach so high that it opens the left collarbone space as well as the right. You might see that my front knee is ever so slightly bent in this posture. It's to exaggerate the fact that I'm not locking out the knee joint. Have a slight bend in that front knee to engage all of those stabilizing muscles of the upper thigh. Look down at the front foot, inhale, come back up. Hands to your waist and step the left foot forward. Samastitihi. Allow your breath here to settle. Let the body settle. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Take your time here. From here we now take our peace fingers, index finger and middle finger, and wrap them around the big toes. You're going to bring the chest so that it's touching the tops of the legs. Bend the knees as much as you need so that your tummy can rest on the legs. Elbows bent. Have the feeling of spreading the bottom bones apart. You'll feel this stretching the hamstrings, as if the butt creases are trying to open up to the sky. Then inhale, almost in chair posture, but the arms are out in front of you in line with the shoulders and your fingertips pointing down, bending at the wrists. From here in one fell swoop, we start to bend the knees more, bring the bum to the floor, and roll straight up into shoulder stand. Catch the hips. Lift the feet, heels in line with the hips. Draw your elbows closer in towards each other as you walk your hands up the spine. Have the feet flexed. Back of the neck is long. The chin will be in towards the chest, possibly restricting the breath, so instead breathe in through an open mouth if it makes it more comfortable. If you can, wiggle the elbows a little bit closer towards each other. They shouldn't be too wide apart. This is a fantastic pose for activating the thyroid gland. If you wish, start to bring the feet back overhead, coming into plow pose. If the toes touch the ground, you can release the hands away from your hips, interlacing the fingers, little finger side down on the ground. Allow the tailbone to continue lengthening upwards as your heels reach away from the head. Shoulders rolling open. Breathe. You can return to shoulder stand or roll out of this pose anytime you wish, or if you wish to deepen the pose, you can bend the knees. Gently squeezing the knees around the ears, perhaps lifting the hands and wrapping them around and in between the legs. Softly clasp the head with both hands. The tops of the feet rest on the floor here. It might be that you stay in plow pose or you've already unraveled from shoulder stand to Shavasana. That's fine too. To come out of the pose, we release the arms. Support the spine and straighten the legs. Come back into shoulder stand. If you have lotus or half lotus, feel free to take that posture now. Otherwise, you might prefer to rest in Shavasana or return to shoulder stand. Breathe here. If you're in half lotus or lotus, maybe bring the knees closer towards the head, or perhaps bring your hands to rest on the knees. When practicing this posture, it is important that you do not turn the head left or right. So if you're in the pose but turning the head to look at this video tutorial, please come out of the pose first before you do that. Breathe here. The tailbone is still reaching long up to the sky and beyond. Can the breath become more steady? Can the breaths become longer? Return to a regular shoulder stand. Remember the feet are flexed to give you more stability in this pose, and then bring the feet back overhead. You're going to bring the arms long and trying to keep the legs as straight for as long as possible. Slowly, piece by piece, place the spine back down to the ground. The legs will follow naturally. Now rest the body. Let the backs of the shoulders be heavy, the back of your neck long. As you inhale, the belly and the chest will rise. On the exhalation, can you let the body soften? Let the body go. If a thought comes, let it go by itself. Just return to the breath. The soles of the hands are soft. The forehead is soft. Your jaw is relaxed. Can you let the body go? Become aware of exactly that which you're feeling. Could rest be that sensation? In your own time, rolling over onto one side. You can use the lower arm as a pillow if you wish. Take your time, breathing into the top side of the waist. As you exhale, let even the waist be heavy. Let it go. The back of the neck is still long. The jaw is still relaxed. You might wish to rest here longer, otherwise bring the body back up. Come to a comfortable sitting position. As you breathe, when you breathe, can the breaths become longer? Can the breath become effortless? Can you let the breath settle? Let the bones settle. Let your body settle. Namaste.